Hi, I'm Diane Marie Collins, and you have entered the DM zone. I am here visiting with Nick Lowery, and we're going to talk about the Nick Lowery Foundation. But you are at a conference right now. Let's talk about the conference.
Well, it's our 13th Nation Building for Native Youth Conference, or NBNY, and it's the extension of my fellowship at Harvard after I got my master's at the Kennedy School of Government there. I was fascinated after doing 4 or 5 years with Native Vision, which I started with the NFL Players Association and Johns Hopkins Center for American Indian Health. Why, just like that dysfunctional uncle that's sort of a shadow in the history of a family who keeps going to rehab, keeps getting in trouble, knows what he needs to do but doesn't apply it. In Indian country, there are all sorts of patterns. And how do we break those patterns? And in essence, how do we rebuild social capital, which is the glue that connects us to our highest values? So Nation Building for Native Youth started with that idea, but it's evolved into something that's about learning, that if we can help young people from any background, in this case Native Americans, understand how their mind works, understand how they've been programmed, understand how their brain can be used and harnessed to reconceptualize who they are and what they want to do with their lives, then they're permanently changed. So it's about leadership, it's about sovereignty as Native peoples, but as human beings, but it's more about how do I take charge of my thoughts and how I see myself, and most importantly, how do I feel about myself. So in those moments of truth, whether it's kicking a 70-yard field goal in the NFL
that you've done,
or whether it's just simply believing I can be an attorney for Native rights or a doctor or something great, I believe I deserve to be there. I own that sense of identity in a really comfortable way. That's what we really try to do.
it was one of the things that, talking with the two youth that we were talking earlier with, it was exactly that, confidence. That's what I told them, and they went, yes, absolutely, I've got confidence. I can either present what I need to the tribal council, or I can stand up and do what I need to do to make my life better or my tribe, or it was confidence.
You know, I think as we get older, when I was younger, I thought, oh gosh, I never want to get old. I'm so happy I'm older. I would never trade the wisdom of getting older. And the wisdom to me is always about managing one's ego versus one's spirit. One ego is about identity, it's about goals, but most importantly, it's always matured and polished and redeemed by one's spirit. If I'm doing something that really helps others, if I'm doing something that really is what God has intended for me. So we definitely believe in spiritual strength and wisdom, as well as those things that go into what you'd put in a notebook.
Well, I will tell you that just watching a little bit of the conference this evening with the Nation Building for Native Youth, it amazed me to see the participation and the enthusiasm, and you should be really proud.
Well, you know, I love it. And what's funny is, as you know, whether you're learning to interview or work behind the camera or work with Native youth, anything that you love doing that's making a contribution and you stick with it, you get better at. And when you get better in this work, you're seeing people's lives transform. There's nothing better than that.
It is exciting.
It's very gratifying.
The Nick Lowery Foundation also works on bullying. Let's talk briefly about that.
Well, you know, working with Native youth and working in bullying is not unrelated, because it's about creating for young people the understanding and cultures in school that embrace difference, that look at difference as an opportunity to learn and to grow, and to look at difference as the group having more power, more color, literally, more electricity, and empathy, which is the byproduct of understanding and wisdom and love, are those things that comprise empathy, are the things that help us become much more happy people, and I think really help the culture itself. Those things are tested, as many things are tested, on the school playgrounds and in the hallways and the classrooms of school. So we believe that they're related, that if we can build and help athletes and kids that are in the shadows of school feel they still have power, that they're going to find their purpose, then we're building a better world.
I was just going to say that, bullying has been around a long time. It happened to me when I was a kid because my sister and I were tiny. Now, we grew later, we got tall, but as children, we were tiny, and so we were always picked on. So bullying is not new, and it's neat that you are taking that as part of what you're doing with your foundation.
Well, thank you. It's all about healthy initiations into adulthood. Really, if we can give these kids so many references to growing into healthy adulthood, or kids that are bullied, suddenly you can transform and change schools completely.
Like I said, it's all about confidence.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Well, thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Stay right there. And you have been in the DM Zone. Come back soon.